Olive, thank you so much for having me and for my fellow panelists here. And I agree with them because the speech by the president was a good speech. It was a very spirited speech and very bold. I thought it was very bold and it was very well delivered. You could see he had really prepared for it, and the speech writers had really done good research. And of course, bringing our own local issues to our global platform, which I think is what we like as a nation when we have somebody to represent us at that level, is that we want to see some of our very local issues being addressed at that point. Because we do agree, most of these things that he brought out are things that are affecting developing countries, developing Africa, and you know, there's a sense there of Pan-Africanism, which is wonderful to see our next generation leaders also pick up these conversations as we move to, you know, a new generation of leadership like we are seeing here in the country. I really like the fact that he spent a lot of time on global warming and climate change, because that is the thing that is really affecting developing countries, considering developing countries are not the cause of global warming. And I like that he spent quite a bit of time there. And his call, you know, for the global call for inclusive global governance, also very important, because you find developing countries, we are left behind in governance matters, yet some of the things that affect us the most, issues to do with climate change, even issues to do with inclusivity in decisions of, you know, like COVID, which is an international crisis. You find that we are left out, yet we are just as equally affected. And most of the time, we are not the cause of these issues that are arising. So I think that was a good thing about his speech, amongst many other things. And his call for the bottom-up model at a global stage. I mean, you have to give it to him. In fact, I think there was something he said here. He called it building back better, and then add an extra B from the bottom. I thought that was really nice. And this realization that we have a majority of our citizens, a majority of population really hustling and struggling at the bottom level, and they need to be focused on. I mean, he's calling the whole world to focus on those people. And I think that was brilliant for him to bring his own campaign and his own economic model that he wants to run the government on, has brought it to a global stage. So that, of course, and the call for debt, streamlining of debt and looking into debt issues, of course, something which is affecting us here critically, and a lot of other developing countries are struggling with debt, and he's calling for the international organizations, of course, to look into it and how they can help and, you know, help countries restructure. Hopefully, that is the first thing also on his table when he comes back to deal with. So that, amongst many other things, I think it was a well-delivered speech. And I can say we are always happy as Kenyans. We are proud that our leaders go out there and represent us accordingly.
You know, as you were speaking, I was busy trying to Google the quote he gave from Abraham Lincoln. And it was, things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. And that's how he brought up the hustlers dynamic in that speech.